Should you draft Jordan Addison in fantasy football this year? Well, let's talk about it. So Jordan Addison is just discount T. Higgins. He's in a great offense with one of the best receivers in the entirety of football, and he's the wide receiver number 2. I have a lot of thoughts about Jordan Addison. First of all, Addison's an incredibly talented player, and I feel like that's something that's getting tossed to the wayside a lot when discussing Jordan Addison in fantasy this year is, everyone is worried about, he's a wide receiver too. J.J. McCarthy could be bad coming into this offense. T.J. Hawkinson exists. But Addison's really talented, and that's what makes me a little interested and not wanting to write him off. Like, I write off a lot of wide receiver 2s for just being a wide receiver 2, but Jordan Addison's a little interesting just because he's that talented. And last year, we saw that Addison could actually kind of be a reliable fantasy asset, especially in PPR, even with Justin Jefferson and T.J. Hawkinson on the field. In the 10 games where both Justin Jefferson and T.J. Hawkinson were on the field, in 7 out of those 10 games, Addison had 13 PPR points. That is a budget flex wide receiver 3 fantasy asset, and Addison's currently going as the wide receiver 37 and 70th overall player. And this is after he finished as the wide receiver 20 last year. And of those 7 games where he had at least 13 points, he had 2 30-plus games. Like, Addison clearly has the skill to put up elite fantasy numbers. The question is just, last year was kind of the perfect storm for the Vikings where Sam Darnold was able to chuck that thing. And, the question is now, can J.J. McCarthy do the similar thing? Because if J.J. McCarthy can do anything close to what Sam Darnold did last year, I think Jordan Addison could be a borderline flex player who's kind of interesting for your fantasy team. Just because the talent's there, and he's shown that he can edge, even with an offense with Justin Jefferson and T.J. Hawkinson, he can edge out his own niche. So you got to decide how you feel about J.J. McCarthy. I'm really into J.J. McCarthy, and because of that, I'm kind of into Addison. But the one other thing that's important to remember is Addison recently pled guilty to driving under the influence or some form of driving under the influence. And he could get suspended now for 2 to 3 games before the start of the season. And I don't think that impacts my opinion on Addison a lot, but it does make me a little skittish and might push me towards a Jacoby Myers or a Khalil Shakir over Jordan Addison if he does see a 3-game suspension, just because I feel like those guys also kind of have a different kind of upside compared to Addison, but they still have value. Addison is definitely the highest upside receiver you're going to get this late in the draft. But the question is, do you think he can hit that upside, or do you think he's going to bust in an offense that has so many other weapons? I'm going to give Addison a B. I like him, but I'm not super into him.